Hello, dear students of HSC BM first year. Today is your first class with me because you are newly get admitted students of this academy. Now, at first I am introducing myself. I am MD Maruful Islam, lecturer of English, Sayem Uddin Memorial Academy. Dear students, since it's the first class to you, so you have to know your syllabus. I am trying here to introduce you briefly the grammar part of your syllabus. Here we go. You can look at the blackboard. The first grammar item is transformation of sentence. Dear students, I think all of you have learned about these items in your previous stage, that is HSC level. Then next item, I think it seems to be new to you. Identify subject, object, oppositive, conditions and modifiers. Next item is punctuation. It is a very familiar grammar item. Then find out transitive verb, intransitive verbs, gerund and participles. I have used brief form of the term transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Then you have to change the voice of the given sentences, and at last, the last grammar item is fill in the gaps with the given phrases and words. Dear students, according to my experience, I have realized that the newly items, that means which you are firstly introduced in this level, HSC level, those are difficult to you. Now I am going to make you understand about changing of degree. Do you know? I think you know that there are three types of degree: positive, number 2 comparative, and number 3 superlative degree. All of these degree words are actually adjectives, and degree measure the influence of adjective or dimension of adjectives. You can easily realize the rules of changing these degrees if you follow my lecture attentively. First of all, I have drawn a box. Now I have divided it into two parts: positive, then will come comparative, and at last superlative. You don't have to memorize given grammatical rules in several grammars in markets. You just have to follow my lecture. Now, positive. No other. It is the sign of positive degree. You have to consider that it is the sign of positive degree. Than any other. And here the superlative is the. You have to consider these phrases as the sign of these respective degrees. That means if any sentence started with no other and you are ordered to change it into a comparative one, you have to use than any other, or superlative, you have to use the. Now, the another criteria. Very few. If the positive sentence have the phrase very few, you have to change to comparative by using than, most, other, this phrase. And for superlative, you have to use, in case of superlative, you have to use the phrase one of the. Very, very easy rule to change the degrees. You will be clear. I think you have a clear concept about degree changing if you follow the example. Now I am writing a positive word. Positive sentence, no people of no other people of this village is as intelligent meritorious as Raju or someone. This is a sentence of positive degree. This is the sign of positive degree, and this phrase has bind the degree word meritorious. This is obviously an adjective. You have to, if you have to change it a comparative one, then you have to follow some rules and you have to divide this positive sentence into some parts. These parts already I have indicates two parts of this sentence. The next part is people of this village, and another part is Raju. In case of changing from positive to comparative, hence here you have no other, the phrase no other. So you have to use the comparative phrase then any other. Now the question goes that why you have to use this phrase? Follow me. At first you have to erase or remove no other, the sign of positive. Instead of no other, you have to use then any other. But in a comparative sentence, you have to write down the subject, people of this village, as meritorious as, and then Raju. The subject is Raju, so you have to write down Raju. Easily you can realize this rule like this way, that you have to use the word or phrases after as. So here after as we have a single word Raju, so I put Raju here or I place Raju here. Then the be verb will come according to the subject. Raju is a third person singular number, so it will take singular form of present indefinite tense. And the be verb is Raju is. Now the time has come to use comparative sign and comparative word of this positive word. Meritorious. Meritorious. You have to pronunciate this word with more than one syllable. So its comparative form is simply more meritorious. More meritorious. Now the degree has been changed. Meritorious, more meritorious. Now you have to use the comparative sign than any other. Than any other. Raju is more meritorious than any other people of this village. Dear student, you can see that I have used the rest part of this sentence, people of this village. So no other people of this village is as meritorious as Raju. Now in comparative form it has become Raju is more meritorious than any other people of this village. Now the superlative form of this sentence goes that actually superlative sentence follow perhaps nearly the same structure of comparative degree, that up to verb. So you have to use at first the subject Raju, then the be verb is. In case of superlative sentence, you have to put superlative sign at first, but in case of comparative sentence, you used or I used at first the changed word, changed degree word, then here the superlative comparative phrase. But in case of superlative sentence, here come the sign of superlative. Now the positive or comparative sentence have no other or than any other phrase. These two types of phrase are used in comparative, positive and comparative sentences. So you have to use the article the as superlative sign. Now Raju is the. Now you have to place the superlative form of this positive given positive word, or in case of changing from comparative to superlative, we have to change this comparative word more meritorious. It will be changed into most meritorious. Then the next part, people of this village, this phrase will be written same. You don't have to change this phrase. People of this village. Dear students, now I am writing the brief structure using these rules. I am placing positive structure in the middle. No other or very few. Then a phrase. Then a be verb. Then as dot 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 as. That means this dot include an adjective word plus object or rest of the sentence, rest parts. In case now the structure of comparative sentence will be, at first you have to use the rest part from as. It will conclude one sentence or two sentences or a phrase, no matter or doesn't matter. Rest part plus be verb according to this subject, because it is used as a subject, so you have to use a be verb according to the subject, And next you have to use the comparative word. Comparative word. And then you have to place the comparative sign phrase than any other or than most other. Here you go. Then from no other or very few, you have to remove this part, and from this part to be verb, you have get whatever you have get, you have to put here that phrase or that word. Comparative. In superlative, this structure up to be verb will remain same, and comparative word, here you can look the comparative word. In case of superlative, you have to use superlative sign. That means if the sentence is started with no other, you have to use the, or the sentence is started with very few, we have to use one of the. And you have to put the two sign of superlative sentence in here where you have used comparative word. But in case of superlative sentence, you have to use the superlative sign in same place. And last, where you have written than any other or than most other, here you have to use the superlative form of the degree word. Dear student, I think most of you feel difficulty while changing the degree words. I have a very easy rule for you. If the word like tall, T-A-L-L, which can be pronounced in one syllable, if it a positive one, then its comparative form will be taller and superlative form will be tallest. But in case of the word beautiful, this is pronounced more than one syllable. Beautiful, more than one syllable. Any words like this which you have to pronounce it more than one syllable, very easy rule for you. You have to only put more before that word. That means more beautiful is the comparative form of beautiful, and superlative will be most beautiful. Dear students, you don't need to memorize the degree words or the rules of changing degree words. You just have to memorize or you just have to follow the syllable of the given degree words. If that is a word of monosyllable, you just have to put ER or simply R for comparative one, and EST or simply ST for superlative one. And if the word contain more than one syllable, then you just have to place more before that word for comparative degree and most for superlative degree. So you don't need to memorize the degree words. I think another 3 examples will be clear for you. Raju is no other Dear students, my time has been finished, and you will learn further lessons from my lecture, and my advice to you: if you go out, please wear a mask, and after returning home you must have to wash your hands with soap or soap water. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.